You say you want freedom, yet you can't get out of bed on time. You long for peace, but your mind constantly betrays you. You seek power, but crumble every time life turns up the heat. Main rewritten content, richer storytelling style with punctuation. You keep asking for things you haven't earned. But no one told you this one truth. You will never be free until you learn to control yourself. This isn't a war against the world, your boss, your ex, or your past. The real battle is you versus you every single day. And most people lose because it's always easier to control others than to command yourself. Easier to talk than to act. Easier to post than to practice. Easier to pretend than to suffer. And grow in silence. Stoicism doesn't promise comfort, it offers truth. And that truth is, freedom is not granted, it is forged. And the forge is built within discipline, restraint and silence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But how many truly live this? How many wake up with calm minds? How many walk through pain with self-control? How many look in the mirror and see someone they can lead? Self-mastery demands sacrifice of comfort, of pleasure, of weakness. That's why so many are modern-day slaves in disguise to lust, distraction, anger, greed, comparison. And fear. Their chains aren't visible. They're made of habits they refuse to break. They let their emotions run the show and call it being real. They flee from silence, yet wonder why their minds are always screaming. Seneca warned us, no man is free who is a slave to his passions. But look around, everyone is chasing dopamine like addicts. Swipe, scroll, escape, repeat. They don't face themselves anymore. They bury themselves in noise, terrified of silence. Because in silence they meet their truth, and most people aren't ready for that truth. They talk of growth, yet avoid pain. They romanticize peace, yet practice chaos. They glorify strength, yet reject discipline. That's why they suffer, not because life is cruel, but because they lack the will to become who they were born to be. You weren't born to be soft. You weren't born to be ruled by urges. You were born with the potential for something greater, self-sovereignty. And from that realization, the path begins. Freedom means nothing if you don't train for it. As we entered the last part, you were born with the potential for self-mastery. But now, here comes the truth. Freedom is not given, it is earned. It's earned in every moment you choose to stay in control, when everything around you is trying to tear you apart. It's earned when you show up, even when you want to quit. It's earned when you say no to comfort, no to weakness, and say yes to the grind, yes to discipline, yes to pain. Epictetus didn't sugarcoat it. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things beyond our control. So, what lies beyond your control? People, opinions, weather, loss, rejection, failure. And what lies within it? Your attitude, your response, your discipline, your mind. Master those and life changes. Not because the world becomes easier, but because you become unshakable. You stop breaking under pressure. You stop chasing validation. You stop living in fear of what might happen. You begin to move with calm. You walk through chaos like a mountain stands through the wind, still, silent, solid. But let's be honest, becoming that kind of man, it's not easy. It takes blood, sweat, solitude. It takes losing people who only loved your weakness. It takes nights of doubt, days of grinding repetition. It takes failure over and over again and still getting up the next morning to fight. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It doesn't come with applause. It's just a quiet, lonely commitment to your highest self when no one is watching. It's choosing the hard path when the easy one is open. It's walking away from the crowd to sit with your pain and not letting it consume you. It's building a mind so strong no insult can shake it, no temptation can tempt it, no loss can break it. That is real freedom. But to get there you must suffer. Not the kind of suffering that destroys, but the kind that forges. The kind that purifies your mind like fire purifies steel. You must endure the silence. You must bury your excuses. You must die to your weakness again and again until what's left is something pure, something powerful, something unbreakable. You don't find peace. you build it. You don't become disciplined. You become someone who chooses discipline until it becomes your nature. This is why Stoicism matters now more than ever. In a world ruled by emotion, comfort, and entitlement, the Stoic becomes a different kind of force. Not loud, not flashy, but unshakable because he knows who he is, because he's not ruled by the body, because he walks through hell with his mouth closed and his head high. When your mind becomes forged like steel, you no longer need to shout to prove your strength. In the last part, we talked about discipline, the quiet, unseen effort that builds true resilience. But now we arrive at the truth. The kind of strength Stoicism creates doesn't scream. It doesn't post fancy quotes on social media. It doesn't chase applause or approval. It just moves calm, centered, and clear even as everything around it falls apart. That's who you're here to become. Not a slave to pleasure. Not a victim of impulse. Not a man who talks about strength, but crumbles the moment life gets uncomfortable. You're here to master ****, the only battlefield that truly matters ****, the one within. And that battle, it never ends. It's fought in the morning when your body begs you to stay in bed. It's fought at night when your mind seeks escape. It's fought when others test your patience, your values, your limits. But every time you choose self-control over chaos, you win. Every time you hold your peace in the face of provocation, you win. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you win. That is how you rise. Not by conquering the world, but by conquering your own nature. Because until you do, you remain a prisoner to your emotions, to your cravings, to distractions, to fear, to comfort. You'll build nothing real. You'll become nothing solid. You'll run in circles forever, chasing a version of yourself you never truly committed to becoming. But it doesn't have to stay that way. You can choose differently. You can become the man who controls his time, his mind, and his life. And from that place of control, you can build something even greater: peace. Peace isn't found in a quieter world. It's found in a stronger mind. They may lie to you. They may betray you, mock your progress, or act like your efforts mean nothing. They may twist your words, misjudge your heart, and pretend you don't exist. But you don't need to react. You just need to remain still. Because every time you choose composure over chaos, you reclaim control. Every time you refuse to let your emotions dictate your actions, you move one step closer to freedom. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to make anyone regret losing you. You don't need to win the argument, because you've already won the war within. Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his passions." And you're no longer a slave. You've walked through fire, not to burn, but to forge. The world will keep spinning. Others will keep shouting, provoking, falling apart. But you are the mountain. You don't scream. You don't flinch. You stand, and in your silence, everything begins to quiet down. You don't need to be understood, because you understand yourself. You don't need to be liked, because you live by your values. You don't need to control everything, because you've mastered the only thing that matters: yourself. That is freedom. That is strength. That is Stoicism.